comic book fans, this is your host, Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I'm back for another episode of Duck Punch Comics. Now it's Thursday, and Thursday means preview day. Look at all the books I'm going to be picking up in the next week, what will most likely make its way onto our review docket. Now, next week we've got 17 books, about an average week. Actually, interestingly enough, pretty much split straight between DC and Marvel. Usually Marvel tends to be pretty heavy, but this week next week it's gonna be pretty split. Now jump right on into things. From DC, Batman Beyond #4. This miniseries written by Adam Beechin has been getting progressively worse, but I'm a firm believer in supporting characters you love, and that means I kind of gonna at least keep buying this miniseries to just show my support for Terry McGinnis's Batman. Not sure how that's going to turn out. Birds of Prey #5 by Gail Simone. As always, Gail Simone is one of the best writers DC has. One of the best writers in comics, period. And I really liked her story in Birds of Prey. It's been slowly building. I mean, for God's sakes, she made the Penguin seem threatening. I mean, who's done that in like 30 years? With the new story arc centering around Lady Shiva, the always deadly Lady Shiva. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this turns. Brightest Day #10. I am literally giving this issue and 2 more. Get halfway through the story. If at the end of issue 12 I still don't like this, I'm done. I think giving it half of its possible story to work things out or make me care is plenty. There we go. Now looking at another book from DC that I like, a lot of strong books from DC coming out. DC Universe Legacies #5. This has been the history of the DC Universe, and issue 5 is going to be covering Crisis on Infinite Earth. I'm really interested in seeing how they do this. This has been very strong, despite not really being really a story book, but it's been really good to read, and definitely great for new readers. Definitely check this out. Green Lantern Emerald Warriors #2, written by Peter J. Tomasi. The first issue was outstanding, easily better than anything Green Lantern Corps has been doing since the end of Blackest Night. This is probably going to end up replacing that book if it keeps as strong as it has been. I can't wait for this, to see just what the plot between Ganthet and Guy and Atrocitus really is. Definitely looking forward to this one. Justice Society Special #1 by Scott Collins, who's normally an artist, and he's actually pulling double duty here. This is the Justice Society in a special issue taking on one of their former members, Magog, who is almost universally hated. I'm picking this up because I love the Justice Society. That's about the only excuse I've got. And last up from DC, or from DC proper, Zatanna #5, written by Paul Dini. Dini is the man, and what's really great is that, Dini has been wanting to do a book about Zatanna for a long time, and now he's got it. He's got the full support of DC, and it's been just spot on every week. If we could get a Dr. Fate book to be as awesome as this, I'd be in Nerdvana, I should probably say. This is a really good book. You don't really have to know too much about the character. It's only 5 issues in. You could go find the back issues and just get right up to speed. Grab this one. Now, from Vertigo, which is a subsidiary of DC, we get DMZ #57. DMZ is not a light book, but it's really good. Deals with Civil War rent America. It's set in modern time. Very, very good. Very, very deep and very, very political, but very, very good. Now, moving on to Marvel. Amazing Spider-Man #643, which is continuing the Origin of Species story arc. I'm just happy we're done with One Moment in Time. It looks like they're really going back to kind of tie up some of the loose ends from Brand New Day, specifically the loose ends with Menace. No complaints here. Plus, it's got Mark Waid's writing it. God. Next, we're getting Captain America Patriot #1. This is another Captain America miniseries. Now, the last one I got, Forever Allies has been pretty bad. But I'm giving this a shot because it's not really. It's focusing on Steve Rogers and it's focusing on one of the Captain America fill-ins while he was on ice. So we'll see what happens. New Mutants number 17. This continues the Project Purgatory story arc. Really kind of interested to see where this is going. The last issue really just focused on the villains, and it was surprisingly good. Again, I don't know much about the New Mutants. I've never really been a fan, but the first 2 issues of this story arc really grabbed me. Looking forward to seeing where this goes. Now, something I'm not necessarily looking forward to, but I'm giving a shot, is Shadowland, Ghost Rider number 1. Now, if you've been watching this for any length of time, you know my opinion of Shadowland. Of the tie-ins I've picked up so far, most of them have been okay, not really that good. So, we're going to see what happens. I don't have high hopes for this one. The thing I do have some high hopes for, because it's written by Ed freaking Brubaker, is Steve Rogers, Super Soldier number 3. Now, the end of the last issue was really very surprising. Man, that was actually really crazy. So I really wanted to see how Steve kind of works his way out of that problem, and how he's able to stop what the Machine Smith is doing. Ed Brubaker's writing Steve Rogers. That's all you really need to know. One of my picks of the week last week, Thor for Asgard is back with issue number 2. Roddy was an amazing writer. Bianchi is just gorgeous to look at. There you go. I mean, I'm kind of sold at the gate. Definitely gonna be a good one, or at least I really hope it is. I'm gonna be really upset if I've been talking it up this much and it ends up stinking. Thunderbolts number 148. This is a Shadowland tie-in, but it's so. This has been really solid. Jeff Parker knows what he's doing with his team. The art's not great, but I can live with that. The story's good, but it's tying it into what I've really hated as a storyline so far. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be very good. X-23 number 1. Now, for those that don't know, X-23 is the female clone of Wolverine, and she was a member of the new X-Men. She's been a member of X-Force. Interesting character. I really want to see them kind of flesh her out. They're really using this to sort of build this Wolverine family with her, Wolverine, and Wolverine's son Daken. I just want to see where this is going. You know, if I don't end up getting it, if I don't end up getting this series, if I pick up 2 or 3 issues, I really haven't sacrificed that much. So we'll see what happens. X Factor number 209. Now, last issue, written by Peter David, was really interesting, and I have no doubts that this one's going to be just as good. So, they're going after Hela. They're trying to go rescue Pip the Troll. And by the way, Rain Sinclair is pretending that the child growing in her womb is actually the child of her ex-boyfriend Richter, who's now involved with another dude. All sorts of fun there, right? So there you go, guys. 17 books. A lot of different stuff. Really kind of interested in seeing what's coming next week. From just looking at things, it's looking like DC is actually going to be much stronger than Marvel, which, you know, if you've been watching these for any amount of time, you know that I'm really a Marvel fan. But if DC can pull this off, this is going to be one of the first weeks that Marvel gets kind of shoved out of the limelight on these reviews. So we'll see what happens. As always, leave comments, let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys tomorrow with our very special episode. Don't you just love those? Have a good day, guys.